Alrighty, so for you Algebra 1 guys, yesterday's work should have been a review for all of you. Maybe for some of you, some of it was new. Today, similarly, most of what we're going to see today is review. We did graph the vertex on one day, and so some of you probably remember that very well, but if you weren't there on that day, or if you just didn't get it because we didn't spend the whole period on it, I'm just going to try to take it nice and slow. This paper is called Graphing the Vertex 1A. So we are still going to find the vertex the way we did in the previous worksheet, but then we're going to also plot it. Not only are we going to plot the vertex, we're also going to first plot the axis of symmetry. So two things we need to draw. All right, first let's do the numbers. So, man, what happened there? Let's look at what we have. Let's do number 2 this time. Why not? So we're gonna first identify our A, B, and C. A is 2, B is 8, and C is 6. We're still using the formula for the axis of symmetry, and I did still give it to you here. At this point, you should maybe have it memorized, but it's on this worksheet for you. So we're going to plug in x equals negative b. Well, b is 8, so it's negative parenthesis 8 over 2a. So a is 2, so 2 times 2. This simplifies to negative 8 over 4, and that just becomes negative 2. And so what does that tell us? That tells me that to find my vertex, I'm going to plug in negative 2. But before I do that, since this is the axis of symmetry, I'm going to go ahead and graph that right now. Now, the equation x equals negative 2 is actually the equation of a vertical line. So in this case, what I'm going to do is look at my graph. I know that this is the x-axis, so I'm going to find negative 2. I'm not going to put a point here. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to draw a vertical line. It's going to be a dotted line. Technically, this isn't part of the graph. It's the guideline to help you make your graph. And again, what is that? That's called the axis of symmetry. Now, since our axis of symmetry shares its value with the x value of our vertex, we know that when we graph our vertex, it's going to be on that line. So let's go ahead and find the vertex. I'm going to take my original equation, y equals, and where I see x, I'm going to plug in negative 2. So I'm going to have 2 times negative 2 squared plus 8 times negative 2 plus 6. Then order of operations, say exponent first, so I'll leave that 2 alone. Negative 2 squared becomes positive 4. And I'll leave this multiplication 8, negative 2 for later. Well, later as in now, we're ready to multiply in the next step. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times negative 2 is negative 16, and the positive 6 comes down. 8 minus 16 is negative 8. Negative 8 plus 6 is still there. That becomes negative 2 as well. And what are those two numbers? Those two numbers are the x and y value for a vertex. Let's go ahead and write the vertex down. The x value is negative 2, and the y value here is also negative 2. All right, so now we have our vertex is the point negative 2, negative 2. Let's draw that on our graph. So from the origin, I go back 2 and down 2, and I would find my vertex is a point right here. And as I always say, make the point nice and visible. It's, it's not a dash. It is actually part of the graph, so you want to be able to see it. Okay, so that is how we go from yesterday's work of finding the vertex. Now we're plotting it. And again, we're not just plotting the vertex, we're plotting the axis of symmetry as well. I hope that all made sense to you. You just have a few more problems to practice here, so get to it, and I'll see you guys later.